So I went to my apartment. My head began to ache, which was a good excuse to pour myself a big slug of Irish whiskey. The Irish make a whiskey for every state you're in or want to be in. There's thinking whiskey, fighting whiskey, talking whiskey, romancing whiskey, and so on. Murphy's Old Pete is misery whiskey, so I chose that. The third shot sent me off to sleep in my favorite chair. The jangling of the phone awakened me. I looked at my watch. I'd been asleep for almost 4 hours. I unhooked the phone, spoke my name into the receiver. "Shanker here, Kent. Spaeth isn't home. His housekeeper said he packed a bag and said something about a sudden business trip. As for those 2 men of his, they are likewise not available for arrest." "How about his secretary?" I asked. "The lady's name is Lucy Johnson. She lives in one of the last boarding houses left in the Bronx. I sent a man there. Take a guess." "She packed a bag and went on a trip to nowhere," I said. "You named it," he said. "What now, Lieutenant?" "I was about to ask you the same question," he said. "Great. Keep in touch, Kent." I cradled the phone and poured myself another Irish. My head began to ache again, worse this time. I figured I'd drowned it with Irish, but it didn't work. In the end, I took a painkiller and went to bed. Again, it was the phone that woke me. I looked at the bedside clock. It was just after 8:30, and sunlight flooded my room. I picked up the phone. Sally Jennings was at the other end. "I just received a phone call from Mr. Austin," she told me. "So?" I said. "He told me to take the day off." "And you're complaining?" He sounded strange, Larry." "Well, what do you mean by that?" "It seemed to me that he was frightened. Don't ask me to explain. It's just something I felt. Call it intuition if you like." "Well, I never knock female intuition, Sally." "All right, thanks for calling. I'll check it out." "When am I going to see you again?" she asked. "Soon." "Watch yourself, Larry." "Sure. So long, honey." I cradled the phone and lit a cigarette. The smoke made me cough just as it always does when I light a cigarette before my morning coffee. I got out of bed, padded out to the kitchen, and put a kettle over the gas flame. The kettle was boiling madly when I returned to the kitchen after a shave and shower. I made instant coffee and forced myself to drink half of it before I lit another cigarette. I didn't cough this time. In fact, the smoke tasted good, and my head was no longer aching. Now I could think. So Austin had told Sally to take the day off. Maybe he expected a visitor at his office, someone he didn't want Sally to see. Or maybe he knew about Spaeth and Company running and intended to do the same thing. I finished the coffee, dressed quickly, and went down to the garage to get my car. The elevator stopped at the 21st floor of the Steuben building. As the doors slid open, I saw a woman standing with her back to the door, which a gold leaf sign indicated was Tri-State Amusements, Inc. In her smart beige outfit, perky little hat, and snakeskin shoes that matched her purse, she might have just left a photography session at Harper's Bazaar. Her face was sharply chiseled, and her hair was dark auburn. There was something familiar about her face. "Don't I know you?" I asked. "I hardly think so," she said coolly. Then she was in the elevator, and the doors were sliding closed. "I've seen you somewhere," I said aloud. And I had, but I couldn't remember where. I tried the front door of Tri-State Amusements. The doorknob turned, and I pushed the door open. The place was empty, or at least I thought it was empty until I decided to look in a broom closet, and that's where I found Gerald Austin. Someone had done an awful job on his throat. His blood was still wet.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.